Because like the main thing we should make, I think, more apparent after FTX as well, is like there were so many kind of comments from people that like they had all of their savings on FTX. And I think even if it's a very trusted and reliable system, which FTX wasn't, just infrastructure diversification when you're talking about storing assets in this very kind of new things is also very helpful. On Solana, there's a push towards more decentralization for DAOs that kind of creates a little bit of this sort of binary situation where you're either very centralized or you're very decentralized, right? And I think we are kind of there definitely to support everything up until the moment you decide to decentralize or control over certain parts of assets. Yeah, so majority of our users today are just teams like us, right? That have a program on Solana, that have a treasury that they just raised or got a grant, and they run their own validator. They eventually decide to mint a token and start vesting into their investors and themselves, the team. And so all of that can be managed and achieved through our product, leveraging the protocol that we built underneath. But that doesn't mean that it's limited to that, right? Like we have a bunch of use cases where like just some individual that's very cautious about security, because like the main thing we should make, I think, more apparent after FTX as well, is like there were so many kind of comments from people that like they had all of their savings on FTX. And I think even if it's a very trusted and reliable system, which FTX wasn't, just infrastructure diversification when you're talking about storing assets in this very kind of new things is also very helpful. So like having multiple infrastructures to hold your assets, even if, you know, you trust one of them completely, is also very helpful, right? So like we have a lot of teams that have a multi-sig on Ethereum, they have a multi-sig on Solana, and then they have something in the bank, right? Some of it is done for convenience, some of it is done for actually diversifying, right? And making sure you kind of hedge that. And then for individuals, the same. Like they hold something on a ledger, they hold something in a squad, they hold something in a hot wallet, right? And then on the DAO kind of side of things, if you're like a DAO set up on Realms, we have a module that's called Mesh that allows you to actually vote on chain to deploy a bunch of multi-sigs as your sub-DAOs that are sort of controlled by the DAO at the top. We don't really have, like, we built that out, and so it's available, but I don't think any DAO has, a DAO has yet to actually leverage that for their organizational setup, just because, like, Solana DAOs are still pretty early, and, like, they don't have these, like, very complicated organizational structures where they have, like, you know, 7 or 10 sub-DAOs, like, doing sort of different things, and so I think as we kind of progress into that, like, Mesh will be potentially used more, and we're kind of looking forward for somebody to pioneer that specific use case for DAOs as well.